Okay, so I'm going to explain how this is solved and why it works. This is a Portswigger's cache key injection. So let us get inside the lab. Here we go. We should be getting inside. I have my burp speed going. Let's take a look back here. Okay, there we go. So on this page, click on home. You can't go very far in this. This is all you really get. If we go to burp speed, let's take a look at the history. Oh, not actually. Oh, I have to turn on. I have to change my Okay, now it should work. Burps, you should be intercepting all these. Here we go. And let's go back here before we do anything. Let's just see what happens if we go back here. Okay, so here we go. Let's send this, or probably let's send this here. Send this to repeater. Actually, if anything, you should really this one here, or it doesn't matter which one. It doesn't really matter. But what you want to do is you want to use go to extensions, and you want to first of all you got to add. If you haven't already done it, you want to add param minor, and you want to guess parameters. And in this case, you'd be guessing well the get and the header. But I normally just do everything. So just gonna say okay, okay, because you're guessing everything, and your response will be here. Click on output, and so this is what's doing down over here. It's guessing these parameters. So some important parameters that it will find. Let's take a look if it found anything. Well, it's gonna find the UTM content, and you're gonna be using that to sort of hide hide additional parameters. Another thing that you may want to do. Let's go back to here. Is this is the this is the login. So you want to type in prag because you want to cache the response. Pragma x get cache x get cache. What's the last one? Post x get cache something cache key. There we go. And what xk cache key is, it shows this what is in the URL, and this here is a delimiter for the headers. So you can actually stick headers into the URL, and it will bring you to the that's the thing. You can stick headers into URL to make things more dynamic. Now, if you go to extender, let's see if we found anything yet. Well, actually, found some stuff. Here it is. We found here UTM content. So this is this is an interesting parameter because this basically gets excluded from the cache, and that's why it's important because you want to be able to do other things to your parameter. So for example, if I go here and I type in question mark, okay, let's say that question mark, I don't know, test equals test. Let's see what happens. See, it shows up here, test equal test. If you did that, so what you want to do is if you type in UTM content, look what happens now. It disappears. So UTM content is a way for you to hide like basically the cache the page without actually. So if when the user visits this page, it will automatically be directed here to this page here. So this is what's really going on. So you want to cache this, but what shows up is that the user visits this page and it gets redirected here. So that's the point of the UTM content. And then you want to hide some additional stuff here as well. And if you look at the again, I get the extender. It'll say origin. Origin is another one here. So it found another parameter which is origin, and origin. Here's parameter miner. You want to see the parameters. Here it is. UTM content was identified, and here origin was also identified as another parameter. So that's a header, by the way. And what you want to do is you want to stick multiple things in that header. So let's go back to the solutions here. Solution right here. Oops. Right here. This is the solutions. So UTM count is the hide stuff, and what you want to do is you want to cache this. Get this response. So let's copy this. Let's go to our burp suite, and let's go to repeater, and let's just replace all of this here, there. So essentially, what you're doing is, okay, let's put this in. Let's put this in here, over here, origin. So basically, origin's a header. These are all headers, but origin's a header. And let me just copy origin. Here we go. Let's copy this. And let's go to decoder. So essentially, it says that you're allowed to use origin, but you can actually attach more headers, like more. Like origin's allowed, but you can actually add on to origin. So if you go to decoder, what they're doing here, let's say they're going to decode as URL. So essentially, here, origin X, which is over here, and here this this is URL. This is a carriage. This here is a carriage return. And this is new line feed. This here is new line feed, and that basically gives it like a new line. So it goes over down here. So it's just like an enter here, and then you have content length, and this 20, this %20, that represents a space. That's the URL coding for space. So you have a space right here, and an 8. 8 because if you there's actually 8 characters here. So alert is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 there. Again, over here, this is a new line character right here. Actually, 2 new line characters right here. So let's enter, and then you have alert, and you have dollar and triple dollar sign. The triple dollar sign signifies the end of the body. I believe so. That's I believe the delimiter. So as you do $4 sign, saying that's the end. So that's what we're doing here. If we go back to repeater, so you're doing this, and apparently you need the cores 1 for it to work, and X can equal anything. I guess in this case it equals 1. And again, you're hiding it. Essentially, you're hiding it here in this UTM content because the user wants to visit just this page, but instead you're getting all this. This is because you're caching this. So you send this a couple times, and so yeah. So basically, you're essentially caching it. Does it say where the location is going? No. So this is the cache key, right? The cache key, and essentially, so that's the first part. So the second part, did you also want to cache? Let's just send this to repeater again. Is if you go over here, this is the other one. This will redirect. Let's copy this. Let's go to repeater, and over here, just replace this entire line. So essentially, these are the $sign here. Actually, better yet, let me just put this in the decoder for you to see. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's take this down over here, and I'm gonna decode it as URL. And you're down here, and I'm gonna decode this again. You have to decode it twice. There we go. So essentially, you're putting headers in the URL. That's essentially what you're doing, if you think about it. So this is basically this $sign indicates the start of a header, and origin X, these are all headers. And so basically, you're sticking all this here is header. All of this is header, and this $sign pound symbol means the end of the headers. So that's essentially what you're doing. You're putting a header you're putting a headers into the URL. So You're going to the login page, lang, and again, you're hiding everything in this UTM content because UTM content doesn't show up, right? So what only shows up is this lang. What only shows up is this part here. That's the only part that shows up. But UTM content and everything after UTM content, as long as URL encoded, will not show up. So let's send this. It says here it is found. Control origin. So basically, all that shows up is this. So when you stick this here, so you want to cache this to page. You want to send this a couple times so it gets cached, and then send this, hit, and then let's take a look. Oops. And it should eventually at some point, because the user's all likelihood is gonna visit this page or my account. So the user's gonna visit this page here and all this page, but this here, like it got cached, right? So it's this over here redirects you to this here, and this so redirects you to this page, and then this page essentially is this alert. So again, let's see if I can get this to work. I think yep, that's about okay. Yeah, that should work. And then eventually, huh? And it's supposed to work. So and that's basically the explanation. I put something in the description for you sort of to get it. But essentially, if you look at the extender and over here, this part here, it tells you basically all the information you need. In short, right? You want to know what the parameters are, and you want to know that you'll be able to stick stuff into the header. So over here, UTM, it says you can do UTM content. That's a parameter right there, and so it tells you you can actually hide content with the UTM parameter, and also tells you there web cache poisoning. You can do that, and where's the origin? It says here you're allowed to do origin. There should be a, here it is, resuming complete. Okay, there should be here, identify parameter here. The identify parameter is origin, so that means you're allowed to use origin as a header. And essentially you're adding on to the origin header that gives you the alert. And yeah, I think that's all you need to know. Okay, that's it.